to me 11. Don't want to anger you.
Don't ask me to do the coffee line with you. He was going to. You were.
You read my mind. No, if you were my question is twofold. The first part is, who are your favourite voice actors yourself being a voice actor? And the second part of my question is, if you could pick 3 others to make a show together, who would you pick?
Ooh. If I could pick three voice actors?
Yeah, 3 other voice actors to make a show.
Okay, as far as favorite voice actors, I have a hard time separating the people from their voice acting. You know what I mean by that? Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Caitlin Glass, who played Haruhi and Winry. I love Caitlin. Now, Caitlin's a great voice actress. She's a great voice actress. But when I think of Caitlin, I think of her as the friend that I know and love. So I would say, oh, like Caitlin, because I know her, and she's such a great person. There may even be other people that are not such nice people, and they may be really good voice actors, you know what I mean? But they're not really nice people, so you don't really think of them. So I really am drawn to the people that are nice. They're good people, and there are several of those. But as far as if I could do a show with like 3 other people, Caitlin for one, definitely Caitlin. Who's really? It's a long list. There's a lot of people. I love Laura Bailey. Laura's an amazing voice actor. She played Lust in Full Metal, and she plays my daughter in Soul Eater. And then as far as another guy, who's a really good, versatile guy? How about Steve Bloom?
Yeah.
I love, I love Steve. Steve and I are good buddies. So I always tend to think of the people that I know and really like personally. So those are my 3 choices.
I have a question here for you, Ellie.
Hi there.
Hi, I saw you like 2 years ago, I think, in Manchester.
You haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, so you were talking sort of off tangent about how you used to like hoovering as a kid and making lines in the carpet.
Wait a minute, what?
You were talking about how you used to like hoovering as a child and making lines in the carpet.
Yes! Yes, I do.
I just wondered, like, it's a bit of a stupid question, it's like a 2-part question. If you were told tomorrow that you had to give up all of your career and you were given a job hoovering the carpet of a Star Trek starship, would you take that job? And also, if you had to employ any Star Trek character to do the job with you, which character would you pick from anywhere on the timeline?
Can I take you home with me? Because that's the greatest question anyone's ever asked. That's amazing.
I've never heard that question asked you, ever.
First of all, okay, first part of the question. If I had to give up my career tomorrow to hoover a starship for the rest of my life, would I do it? Of course I would, yes. Especially if somebody made me, you know? But, and who would I choose to do it with me? Well, you know, I love Captain Kirk. That's why, it's been my dream to play him, and that's why I love doing what I'm doing with the web series so much. However, I don't think he'd want to vacuum, and I don't think he would do a very good job hoovering the ship. He'd be like, somebody else needs to do it, not me, He'd order some red shirt guy to do it. So, I would choose, if I had to choose anyone from any Star Trek to hoover the ship with me, I got it. I would choose Data.
Yeah.
Because he would never get tired.
No.
He would never ask me to take over for him because he was tired of vacuuming. And Brent Spiner, who plays Data, is a nice guy. He's a good buddy of mine. I'm going to go with Data. And he would do what I asked him to do, too. So, yeah, I'm going with Data. Yes?
My question here?
Hey there.
Hello. Just a quick 2-part question, if that's all right. Out of all of the characters that you've played, is it kind of difficult to go from, say, doing the voice of someone like Rowley to Tamaki?
You know what? It would be difficult if I had to do them at the same time. You know, like if Broly showed up at the host club, that would be a hard thing. But he would kill everyone in the host club. See, that's he would stomp on everybody. But the good part is that when you voice a character, usually you only do one at a time. Like while we're working on host club, that's what we're working on. Now, like for instance, even in shows where I had to do two characters. Anybody remember a show called Vampire Night? Well, I played Zero, but Zero had a twin brother named Ichiru. And there were scenes where they would talk to each other. And so rather than having to go back and forth, even when I played a character, or two characters that were in the same series, we would record all of Zero first. So you're in the Zero zone, right? You're focusing on Zero. And then once you finish with him, you go back and do all of the Ichiru. You kind of get your acting brain in a little bit different character mindset, right? And what's funny is that you can hear the Zero recorded lines in your headphones, so you're talking to yourself and answering yourself that you recorded a couple hours ago. But yeah, it would be hard if they were showing up in the same show together. But since you get the chance to kind of reset between shows, it's not that difficult. Thank you. Thank you.
Have you managed to watch Team 4 Star's version of Pro yet?
I have not, but I've heard it's very funny. I've heard Team 4 Star's parody is really good. Yes.
Okay, we're in the middle here.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Nora here. I was just wondering, if you could pick a favourite topping of pancakes, what would it be?
If I could pick a what?
Favourite pancakes topping, what would it be and why?
Favorite pancakes topping? Do you have a lot of pancake toppings here? What's your favorite, Laura?
Nora.
Nora, what is your favorite?
Nutella.
Nutella.
Oh my God. I forgot about Nutella. Oh, that's good. Nutella. Oh my God. Nutella. I had some this morning. You know, I went down to the hotel because I had breakfast, right? And the first thing I grabbed a croissant, and then something in my mind said, I think they have the little Nutella, you know, the little packets. And so I started searching all over the place to try to find the Nutella. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said Nutella. Yes, I love, Nutella. It would be a great pancake topping. Well, can I ask you guys a question? When did breakfast become dessert? Am I wrong? Like everything you eat for breakfast, it seems, not you, but you know what I mean? Like when you're growing up, and like, you know, waffles and pancakes and bread and sweets and, you know what I mean? And rolled donuts. I mean, it's all dessert. It's like all dessert. My favorite cereal as a kid was like Count Chocula and Lucky Charms, marshmallows, candy, you know, chocolate, fudge. I mean, I don't know when that happened, but breakfast is like all yummy desserts now. Question?
Question over here, Vic.
Where are you?
Far left.
Oh,
Hello.
hi.
You've been in a lot of animes with Todd Habercorn, and I was wondering.
I don't know who that is.
And I was wondering how long you've been friends with him and what it's like being friends with him.
I love Todd. Todd is like my annoying little brother. I've said this many, many times. Todd is like the little brother that I never had. I love Todd to death. He's a very talented actor. He's a good friend. In fact, if you watch my Star Trek series, you will see that Todd plays Mr. Spock in my series. He does a great job. He's an awesome actor. And we like to tease each other a lot. But I love him to death. I love him to death. In fact, I have to tell you a fun story about my little brother. When we started recording Free, he plays Haru, and I play Rin. And these two are childhood friends, but they're rivals. You know what I mean? Like they swim, they compete against each other, and they kind of challenge each other. You know how you kind of bring out the best in somebody, so you're frenemies. That's a fun word they kind of coined somewhere. What? So, after we started recording, Funimation contacted Todd and I and asked us if we would be willing to, for promotional purposes, if we would be willing to race each other in a swimming pool. For real. Now, my whole life, I'm an athlete. Like, I play everything, and I play it hard and fast, and I love sports. And I was like, yes, let's compete. And Todd was like, sure, okay. And as soon as I agreed, something suddenly popped into my mind. I'm like, uh-oh, Todd's 20 years younger than I am. I could conceivably lose just because he's 20 years younger than I am, and he works out, you know, he's in good shape. So I was a little bit scared, but I thought, well, I agree, right? I committed, so I gotta go through with it. So we met, and Funimation sent a camera crew, and we put on our Speedos. Not really, we didn't wear Speedos. And we don't want to hurt anybody, burn anybody's eyes out. And so we did, and we had the competition. Did you see it? You need to go home and watch that. It's on YouTube.
It's on the DVD.
It should be on the DVD. I wish they could stream. Can you guys stream video? You guys connected to the internet up there? Up there in the tech room? Are you guys able to put internet on the screen?
I can. Let me just go up and see if I can.
I know he's back there searching. I don't know if he's able to or not. Because if we can, I'll show it to you, because I think it's kind of fun. Question? Who's got a question? Yes?
What can you tell us about your upcoming role in Fairytale?
What can I tell you about my role in Fairytale? I kicked some Natsu ass, that's what I can tell you. Oh yeah. And that's another reason I love it. I play this character named Mark Gear. He's a pretty bad dude. I love it. A very cool dude. And then...
So, boss.
Oh my gosh! Dude! You look amazing! Oh my gosh. What?
Crow tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Come by the table and let's get a picture, okay? I love it. Yes. Yeah, Mark Gear is really fun. I'm excited to be a part of that. Yes?
Two questions. When you're doing live action acting,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to change your voice much.
Right.
When you're doing voice acting, you have to there's a lot of variation between characters. Is that a skill you learn over time? And also, have you ever read any really good or really bad fan fiction?
Okay, first question was, do you change, because you change your voice when you play different characters in an animated show, but you don't necessarily do that when you're on camera acting. Well, sometimes you do, depending on who you're playing on camera, right? It really depends, and that's just part of acting. The voice is part of the character, right? So if you're in a stage play, right? If you're in a stage play and you're playing a role in a play, you have to take on the physical characteristics of the character, right? And the vocal characteristics. Like, if I were going to play a bad guy, I'll give you a perfect example. If I were going to play, how many of you have ever seen the musical Oliver? I was in Oliver. I did that show years ago, and I played Bill Sykes. Bad dude, right? Well, he's supposed to be a pretty scary, menacing, intimidating kind of a criminal, right? If you've seen it, you know. So if I walked out as Bill Sykes, and I was like, and I was going to threaten somebody, you better give me that money you owe me. If I went up and went, you better give me that money you owe me. Right? You'd be like, what the heck? Who cast this bozo? Right? As Bill Sykes. But if I came out and went, you better give me the money you owe me. Right? You'd be like, ooh. So even in a theater setting, your voice and your characterization are all part of creating a character. The good thing about voice acting is you don't have to worry about anything else except the voice. And that's good and bad. It's good because you don't have to wear a costume, you don't have to, put on makeup, you don't have to do all of that, do your hair a certain way. But the tough side is that every bit of the character that you want to communicate has to come through your voice. You can't rely on anything else, right? If we were doing a stage play and I walked out here, I wouldn't have to say a word. I could walk out here and stand here and look at you, and the costume that I was wearing would immediately communicate something, wouldn't it? The way I was standing would immediately communicate. My facial expression would communicate. My body language would communicate without ever speaking a word. You would have an idea of who this guy is. But in voice acting, the only way to communicate is through the voice. So that makes it a bit challenging. He lost his microphone. Yeah, go ahead, I can hear you, go ahead.
We've now got a special thing
For you to... There we go. We've been up in the back and we've done some digging.